I remember the sirens, the rations, my brother leaving for the front. These words, spoken by a woman from Pennsylvania in a 1998 interview, resonate with a strange familiarity for many. Yet, no such war marked her lifetime. And she's not alone. Thousands of people across the U.S., the U.K., parts of Europe, even Asia, speak of a war they all seem to remember, a war absent from any official historical record. What do you call a conflict that so many remember, but never happened? A strange online forum thread appeared. Does anyone else remember a war in the early 1980s between the U.S. and some Eastern country? I swear I remember news about it as a kid, but now, nothing. This post ignited a wave of responses. Dozens of replies flooded in. Some spoke of black and white broadcasts, others of a treaty signed under duress. A few claimed the war ended with a sudden and inexplicable ceasefire. Yet, no battle names, no precise dates, no lists of soldiers. The war had vanished. The enigma deepens. How can such a vivid collective memory rest on no factual basis? Skeptics quickly offered an explanation: collective false memory. A psychological glitch comparable to misremembering a logo's color or a misattributed quote. But the scale of this recollection is unsettling. Testimonies describe consistent battle locations, mainly in the Balkans and Central Asia, specific types of military uniforms, a mysterious airstrike on a hospital. The accounts are surprisingly detailed, too similar, coming from people of different cultures. Faced with this convergence of memories, is mere coincidence a sufficient explanation? History teaches us that governments have previously considered or even orchestrated manipulations of reality. In 1962, the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff approved Operation Northwoods, a plan to simulate attacks against American citizens to justify a war against Cuba. Yes, fake attacks against their own population. The plan was never executed, but its existence is very real. We also know of phantom conflicts, like the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which served as a pretext for the escalation of the Vietnam War. Years later, it was proven that the reported attack never happened. So, if history has already been manipulated, could this war memory be another instance? A manipulation so radical that it erased all traces? Is the absence of evidence the evidence of erasure? The Mandela effect describes those moments when large groups of people collectively remember something that never occurred, like the false memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, which didn't happen, or the spelling of the Berenstain Bears with an A, not an A. Now imagine applying this effect to an entire war. What if media coverage existed, then was meticulously scrubbed? What if memories were shaped by a brief propaganda campaign, quickly retracted? What if something happened, but not in this version of our history? The CIA conducted extensive research into memory manipulation. Project MKUltra explored the use of drugs and hypnosis to alter perception. Project Artichoke focused on inducing amnesia and false memories. Declassified documents reveal attempts to implant narratives through repetitive subliminal cues. If you can implant fear, you can manufacture consent. If you can implant a war, can you also erase it? And what if this missing war was a large-scale controlled experiment? Not to win a battle, but to test mass manipulation? Let's suppose for a moment that this war actually happened. Ask yourself, who would benefit from pretending it never existed? A government guilty of war crimes? A multinational corporation that funded both sides? A disastrous mission that would have shattered public trust? Sometimes erasing a war is more profitable than winning it. And if this cover-up is global, then we are not facing the lie of a single nation, but a collective silence orchestrated on a staggering scale. A bold theory could connect all these elements. Some researchers speculate that this was a time-looped event, that a war did occur, but history was reset afterward. A jump, a correction, a rerouting of reality. It sounds absurd, until you realize that tech giants are investing billions in simulated reality research, and that military projects are exploring the neurological distortion of time. If we live in a constructed reality, who is the architect? And what other memories might be fabrications? The Phantom War may not be a lost memory, but a warning from a reality we do not yet understand. Why does this war haunt people's dreams? Why do so many unrelated individuals recall the same non-existent event with painful clarity? And why does every attempt to track its origins lead to dead links, scrubbed archives, or 404 pages? Maybe the real question isn't what happened, but what else have they erased?